right, so let's talk about the anatomy of the nephron. So exactly the parts of the nephron. So the nephron, again, is the filter. So filter of the kidney. And so the beginning of the nephron looks like this little claw thing, okay? And this is like chopped in half. So this thing three-dimensionally would look like a cup with a hole in the top, okay? So this tube, this is where it starts, is right here at this little cup. There's a space here, and this space is called Bowman's capsule. And Bowman's capsule collects urine, which we call filtrate. At this point, it's not urine, it is called filtrate. And the filtrate moves into this little squiggly area here. This part here is called the proximal convoluted tubule. Convoluted tubule, or the PCT is what you'll see it called. So I did it kind of wrinkly like this, not in a straight line. This is on purpose because this tubule is not a straight line. It's a convoluted tubule that's intertwined around itself. Okay, so it's not just this straight line. It's kind of a long tubule just all wound around itself. Okay, the proximal convoluted tubule eventually will take a turn down. And this turn down, remember, the filtrate is going this direction. So when it gets down here, it is entering the descending loop of Henle. Okay, it will come around and take a hairpin turn and come up. And this part that comes up, that's ascending, is called the ascending loop of Henle. Okay, once it gets there, it turns and turns into the DCT. And the DCT is the distal convoluted tubule. And again, it's this convoluted, long tubule that's convoluted around itself. Okay, it's not a straight tube there. And then it goes into the collecting duct. Okay, so the whole thing, again, is a tube. It's all together. They're just different parts of it, and certain things happen in these different parts. So it starts here in the Bowman's capsule, goes into the proximal convoluted tubule. The filtrate continues down the descending loop of Henle to the ascending loop of Henle, into the distal convoluted tubule, and out the collecting duct. So it's the collecting duct that is located, goes into the pyramids, and they go down to the papilla where they sort of finish concentrating that filtrate now into urine, and that's where it collects in the papilla and then goes into the minor and major calyces, then to the pelvis of the kidney. So one thing I do want to show here, let's show this in a different color. So if I put a line right here, all the way through, this side here is the cortex. This side here is the medulla. So if you notice, the descending and ascending loops of Henle are in the medulla. Bowman's capsule and the proximal convoluted tubule and the DCT are going to be in the cortex. The collecting duct spans both of them. So they are in the cortex and then go down into the medulla, down to where the renal papilla are. Another thing you might want to notice, which I didn't put here very well, but not at all, but the collecting duct will have more than one nephron to it. So there may be one here, one here. So a collecting duct will accept urine or filtrate from various nephrons. Now the nephron, just so you know, the nephron is tiny, tiny, tiny. Tiny. So there's 1,000,000 nephrons in each kidney. So they are tiny, okay? They're tiny little things. Again, there's 1,000,000 of them, so there's lots of tubules going around in your kidneys, going towards those renal papillae, making urine. All right. So the next video, I'm going to talk about the blood supply here, because that's the thing we're missing here. Obviously, the nephron is filtering blood. Well, we don't see any blood here. So in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how the blood is involved.